This is basically my favorite part of raising rabbits, and that is evaluating the grow outs. I love to see the progress is being made, and I love to see rabbits that show promise early, especially if they keep it. This is one of my favorites of the grow outs right now. I'm going to start off strong with her. So as you can see, she's got a pretty strong top line, especially for being only 8 weeks old. Pretty much this whole batch is 8 weeks. She's out of my recently branded rabbit icon, and she even peaks more correctly than a lot of my rabbits do. She's short and compact. She's just a looker. She's got a nice skull curvature on her, especially for a doe. I really wish her ears were more open. She does carry them a bit folded. I'm hoping that with time they unfold a little bit because her sire and her dam are both pretty great in that aspect. Her eye is pretty good, and you can see from the back, she's got a lot of fullness in the body, fullness in the lower hindquarter, fullness in the loin, and overall, I'm so excited about her. She's got that body at this age that it just feels like a wedge, just solid and short, and even the taper from the top is really nice, so I'm really hoping she stays as pretty as she is now. These are her brothers, same litter, same age, of course, and they're actually pretty cute too. I wouldn't say they're as showstopper as her, but they could really grow nicely too. He's just a little longer in body, although I do like his body peak a lot better than some of my other rabbits. His ears carry quite nicely, a good skull shape. Wish his eyes were a little bolder at this stage. Also from the back, I wish he had a little more fullness in the loin right now. He is catching a tiny bit on those hips right now, just a little, but he's still very promising, and he's an otter, so, I love that. Here's his full brother, her full brother, another otter, a blue otter, and he was my least favorite, although I think time could definitely lend him a helping hand. As of right now, I like his ears the best. They're open, they're pretty nicely carried. His skull is just leaving me wanting a little bit. It's just a bit refined for a buck. His eye's pretty good. It's mostly body type that's just not as good as his siblings, especially in the lower hindquarter, which is a huge trigger for me. I want to see them fill right to the table, but when I scoop down and there's less there, that's a huge turn off for me, but it's not bad. He could really grow into himself more given some time, and I plan to grow him out as long as I can. These littermate does are out of a blue otter. She threw 2 self blues with nice dark nails, and they're both does. The doe herself isn't the best in conformation, but the sire can lend that. But that's where you're going to see some interesting combinations. So just right off the bat, her structure's a little less pleasing. She doesn't really have much for depth. She doesn't peak correctly. She peaks about here. She does have lower hindquarter. She's not hollow there, but her loin is pretty lax right now. Also just her front end. It isn't super promising. It's not bad. I like her openness of ear. Yeah, I think she could grow into it, but as of right now, she's not a looker for me. I do like her sister more. She's a sweetheart too. Again, she's gonna peak a little early. That's kind of something the dam lends, but she's still pretty cute. She's still fairly short in body. I do like that she has some depth. Her front end is actually pretty sweet right now. She does have openness of ear, carries it fairly erect. I do like her head. I think it's pretty right now, although I would like a little more width between the eyes. I think she's not a standout for me this round, but definitely cute, especially for a blue doe. Love that they both have great dark nails, so that's great too. Can't complain. Couple more blues. These are a new litter, and as you can tell right off the bat, one's definitely non-dwarf. Just look at this size comparison. So let's start with that one. This is a buck. I can't say that I would never keep a non-dwarf, but he'd have to be real cute. I keep more does than bucks that are larger. I do love his ear placement and carriage. He's carrying it open and pretty straight up. They touch from base to tip, but he's got that classic big ugly buck syndrome of just more refined head, smaller eye. He also is longer in body and really catching on these hips. I don't like the hollowness over his loin right now. So you can see his hip bones protruding here a bit. He does have a really nice full lower hindquarter, which we love. Again, both of them have nice dark nails. He's not ugly by any means, but his chance of staying as a show rabbit is pretty slim. This is his sister. She's actually quite small, smaller than a lot of the others right now. And she's, I just think a lot of times those smaller ones need a little more time to show their assets. Right now she's narrow, she's hollow in the loin. She's not really spectacular in any way, although again, I really like her ear openness, carriage. She has a promising eye, decent head. It's just, a lot of times I don't go for these rabbits with less mass. As you can see right now, she's really hollow in that loin, but she does carry full to the table. Pretty much all my rabbits have a great lower hindquarter and nice dark nails, so give her some time probably and see how all these blue does grow up. There's one more sibling from this litter. Last time I checked, this buck was pretty non-spectacular, but you never know. So yeah, it's probably pretty clear to see compared to some of our favorites that he's just flatter in body type. He's also longer. I mean, if he peaked right up here, maybe he wouldn't be so long. I'm not saying he couldn't grow into himself, but as of right now, he's not really a looker for me. Also in that front end, he's just a bit flat and snipey in head, thin and folded in the ear. I mean, they carry okay, but not the best. From the back, he's pretty okay. I do catch on his hips a little, but he's not as hollow in the loin as his sister. He's unlikely to stay as a show prospect, but he'll have a couple weeks more before I make that decision. This is our last 8-week-old litter. They're a little bit feisty today. This one's a buck. Last time I checked, he was fine, but he actually looks nicer today. Again, these smaller ones sometimes take a little time to show off their qualities. I do like his depth of body actually, which has improved. His peak is a little early, but not super dramatically. He does have his mother's thinness of ear, but he could grow in that department, possibly. I wouldn't say his front end is spectacular at all. Possibly with time that could improve. From the hind end, we're seeing fullness of hindquarter, but I'm seeing some of that hollowness of loin and hippiness that I don't like. So we'll have to see if he grows out of that. But to the touch, he feels pretty nice. It's just when I point it out, it's pretty obvious. And his sister, a broken doe, oh, she's probably entering her uglies because last few times I checked her, she was pretty cute, but she looks a little roughed up. Maybe the cage mates aren't being too kind to her. But she was another favorite for the round. She's a little spaz. Maybe she's gonna need her own cage just to kind of grow out nicely. So right now you can tell she's just not showing off as much as normal. She is fairly deep. She does peak early. Right now she's a little bony. She wasn't like that. So I think I'm going to switch her to her own cage so she can thrive more. As for front end, I mean, she's got a pretty nice head. It's pretty wide. Her eye is pretty bold and her ears are nice, especially when she carries them straight up. She's definitely an improvement on her mom in the ear department. I think with time she could grow really nice. I think she might just need her own cage. Kind of looks like she's been bullied a little bit, so we'll give her her own space and hopefully she grows nice. So I guess right now my favorite still remains the first broken doe you got to see. Stay tuned for more.
Guys, tell me in the comments below, what is your current trigger? I know all of us breeders have it. We fixate on a certain trait that we really want to improve on in the breed, and sometimes we get a little barn blind and we can't see past it. For me, it's the lower hindquarter. If a rabbit ain't got booty, the rabbit's probably not sticking around. Sometimes I don't always notice other more blaring traits, like I didn't even realize how prevalent flanges and thinner ears folded ears we're getting in my Rabbitry. But that being said, gosh, this doe's still cute, even with slightly folded ears. Oh my goodness, she's so showy for a little 8-week-old. What's your favorite junior right now? What traits are you working on, and which ones are your triggers? I really want to know. Let me know in the comments section. And again, just thanks for staying this whole video. I appreciate you guys. Just some eye candy. I could look at her all day. She's so cute. Have a good one.